would come on and talk to you about fabric and sizing and some of the abbreviations and things that you might read on my site and other sites as well, and it's just going to help you with your online fabric shopping, especially if you're quite new to it, to do a bit of jargon busting. I'm going to use this beautiful new Year of the Dragon fabric that arrived from Lewis and Irene recently as my example fabric to show you. So I think sometimes you just need to know, what does a certain amount of fabric look like when you're ordering online? So that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to start off by showing you what a metre looks like. Now, I always line up slightly over the line on this way, and then slightly over the line on this way, and then I'll cut at a metre. Now on the bolts, they're 110 centimetres wide, but they are folded over. So if you're here on the fold, that is this fold here. So a metre of fabric is not quite square because it's slightly wider than it is longer, but that is what your metre looks like. What else you might hear talked about is fat quarters. So next of all, I'm going to cut this 1 metre in half. So if you order half a metre, this is what you're going to get. So it's full width, 110, and it's 50 centimetres. Now I always sell everything in metres. All my bolts come in metres generally, and I think it's more of an American thing to do them in yards. If you are an American customer, thank you for watching. I also sell to America. On my Etsy shop, a lot of people ask about yards when they're working it out. There's not an awful lot of difference. The only difference is that you're going to get a little bit more fabric for your money when you buy metres rather than yards. So don't let that put you off when you're buying your fabric if you're used to yards. So that's my half metre. Now I'm going to talk to you about the difference between a fat quarter and a long quarter. So it is 1/4 of a metre either way you look at it. A long quarter, I'm not going to cut this because it means I can't do both examples. But a long quarter is 25 centimetres long. So it's going to look like this. So it's that height, and then you're still going to get your full width. So it's going to be about 110 centimetres wide, and it's going to be 25 centimetres tall. Now that might be a really good way of ordering if you only need a little bit of fabric. So you might want only 125 centimetres of fabric. So you could add a metre and a long quarter to your order. I personally will always send it out in one continuous length. So if you need just over a metre, that is a great way of doing it. If you're somebody that likes to make bunting or quilts, you want to make your own like 2.5-inch strips, then long quarter is probably going to be the easiest way of doing it. A lot of people default to fat quarters, but I always offer both. Not everybody does, but if you're ordering fabric from me, then it's an option on all my quilting cottons. Now for what a fat quarter looks like. A fat quarter is literally just half a metre, but then cut down the natural fold in the bolt. Now this one here is folded pretty evenly, so there's not a lot of difference. Some of them aren't always folded exactly down the centre. So you might see on my listings and other people's listings that it could vary by up to 5 centimetres depending on how that fold falls. So that's worth bearing in mind if you need a really exact amount of fabric. You then have got your quarter of a metre, but it's fat, not skinny, so it's just the terminology that is used. So hopefully that's explained it. If it's been a question that you've ever had and you've hopefully found it useful, if you're a seasoned quilter, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The only other quick thing that I'm going to mention when it comes to fat quarters is that nearly always, I have some pre-made bundles. But generally, if you order a fat quarter bundle from me, I've cut all the fabric like I just have then. So you're always going to get that size. Pre-cut bundles are often half a yard. So you're only going to get, it's about 45 centimetres tall. I've not come across an occasion where that isn't the case. So it's worth considering if you know that you need an exact amount, it needs to be 50 centimetres tall. If you're buying it in a bundle that's already pre-cut, it might not be enough. Those are great options for quilting shops that need to put them on display. Because I'm online, I've got all of my own storage solution and it doesn't matter to me. So that is just a quick on fat quarters and fat quarter bundles, and hopefully you have found this useful.